Hey, how y'all doing? This is Chris. I just wanted to tell you, this is a couple of stories, or not stories. This is one about the like hard time or slow time that I done had in trucking and how I deal with it, and then number two, what I consider most important, it's about the risk that we all face of our companies shutting down. Well, some of us face, depending on what trucking company you're at. Okay, so about a week or two ago, I was sitting around like a day or two, just randomly. So I would complete my load, and then I would just sit, and I was waiting for a load. And with my company, like over the weekend, not only were they shut down for the holidays, but they were shut down for an additional day because it happened to fall on one of the Jewish holidays. I think it was Passover, the first day of Passover or something. And like, just because of it, like, just because it's people holidays, like, my check is gonna be lower. Just because like some people celebrate certain days, like, regardless if you celebrate them or not, if your company or whoever is shut down, like, you're gonna face smaller paychecks. Regardless if you're, I mean, one positive thing about it though, my company did give me and offer me, they gave me, number one, they offered me detention or layover pay, which is great. I didn't have to ask for it, they offered me it. Number two, they actually gave me detention or layover pay, whichever one you want to call it. It could fit both criteria. So yeah, they gave and they offered me detention and layover pay, which is great. I know with the majority of the companies that I've been with, I'm thinking all of them except for this one, this is the only one that has ever offered me detention or layover pay, which is great, which says a lot about your company. Like, if they offer you to give you some basically free money just because you were sitting around, and I'm not gonna lie, I was enjoying myself, playing my laptop, working out a little bit, talking to some girls, y'all fellas know how it is. But yeah, I just like chilling really, and I was basically getting paid for it, just chilling, laying. And I'm not gonna lie, like it's not a break that I needed, but like it's a break that like just made me more, like, that made me fresh for the next day. That made me like a great driver and a more attentive driver than I would have been without those breaks. But yeah, I just was, I don't know, I just took time, and I made sure I got full night's rest. That's the most important. If I want to wake up all refreshed, so you say, then I wanted to make sure I had full night of sleep. So I made sure as soon as I started feeling sleepy, I had hit the bed. Number two, I wanted to make sure that all my paperwork and stuff was current. To make sure that my truck was A-OK and safe to drive, and made sure that I was paying attention to everything that I was doing. Then I had completed my next load, and I had to sit for like, I'm not sure, I'm thinking, I know it was at least a day, but I'm thinking it was 2 days that I had to sit. But yeah, I had to sit for another day or two, and that's really the main reason why I wanted detention or layover pay. If it was just for a day, then like it wouldn't have been too bad, because I drive 600 miles a day. So like, but like I was sitting for at least another day. Like now I'm like, I'm just waiting before the pay period ends. But thank God they actually called me and said something about it. But yeah, they called me and let me know, hey, we're gonna offer you detention. We know that you were willing and able to work, and we know you're not trying to sit around and not be around your family. Because like I've already explained to my company, my little baby girl, well, she's not a baby anymore, she's 8 years old, but she's always gonna be a baby in my eyes. So like I explained to them, like, that little girl is the most important thing, person, yada yada yada, etc. in this world to me. Like she's my everything. I've already explained to them that, so hopefully they understand like what she means to me, and me not being around her is hell, literally, to me. But they offered me detention, and what I was doing, I was just gearing. I knew I was gonna have a not so good paycheck, but like I was just gearing up basically for this week. This week I'm gonna try my best to get 3 loads every week, so that's 3,600 miles both weeks, which will have me sitting pretty well. And then I had some other good news. I had 2 pieces of good news. I've already said it in the first video, but I should have my truck bumped up to at least 70 miles per hour, at least 70 miles an hour. And my second piece of good news happened when I was on home time, which I'm just returning from home time. But hopefully this year I should get something back on my income taxes. Hopefully, like that would be great. If I'm actually able to get something back for my income taxes, man, you guys have no idea like how good that would be. Cause like I'm already a saver, and for me to have like a couple extra $1,000 that I wasn't like, cause I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really like expecting to get anything back for this year, and I'm still not. I'm not gonna put my hopes up just to have them shot down, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna really have my hopes up to have anything back this year, because last year they said the same thing, and all I received was like $300. Good God. But it was $300 that I wasn't expecting either. But this year, hopefully I'll have something back, like more, like at least a couple $1,000 at least. And I can choose to do it whatever. I could choose to do whatever I want with it. I could either choose to put it in the stock market or just throw it in my savings. But I have no real use for it as of right now. Like I'm not in debt, or I'm not really expecting to spend that money on anything. I don't have any bills or anything to pay with that money. So yeah, for me to have a couple extra $1,000 or whatever to throw off in my savings or my investment would be great, as there'll be a couple extra $1,000 that I did not have. But okay, it's been 10 minutes. I think that's good enough, just talking about the hard times and everything, and my little bit of good news. Now I want to talk about something serious, And this is these trucking companies going out of business, and where I see a lot of risk. Okay, so if you guys haven't heard, Falcon I'm not sure if they went bankrupt or what, but they closed their doors, and as well as another company, as of I'm not sure if it was Sunday or Saturday of the past weekend, another trucking company went out of business, and they basically said the same thing to their drivers over the Qualcomm though, or whatever electronic communicating device that they use. They sent out a message that they were basically closing their doors effective immediately. But yeah, this I see this as risk too. Like, I'm not sure if it's a lot or a majority, but it's either one. It's either a lot of the trucking companies are a risk, or a majority. And to me, it's simple. It's simply because of what the Federal Reserve has done. If you guys don't know, the Federal Reserve has had interest rates basically at zero over the last 8-9 years or whatever, and they just raised them up to 2%. Now, in this monetary policy, in this environment, a lot of companies, a lot of people have went out and borrowed money at 0% interest rates, and now interest rates are at 2.5%, whatever, and now they're having to pay interest, or a far higher interest than they were paying when interest rates were at 0% and the money was basically free. So if I borrowed $1,000 and I was paying basically nothing interest, depending on what I borrowed that $1,000 for, now I'm paying a much higher interest rate on that money that I borrowed, and that is just $1,000. Can you imagine companies going out and funding fleets with borrowed money, and depending on how this trucking businesses went for them, like depending on how their ROI, return on investment, if you guys don't know what that means, depending on how their ROI has performed, like that could put a lot of them in a lot of like tough situations, especially trying to operate off of that dreadful spot market that a lot of them try to go for, especially some of the huge fleets. But yeah, we're since interest rates have gone up, and now this could be just a canary in a coal mine, really. This Falcon Transport, and then this other one could be just canaries in a coal mine. And if the canary dies in the coal mine, then that's saying something about that coal mine, and that like all the miners should basically get out of that coal mine ASAP if that canary dies. But yeah, these could be just canaries that have just died, and like anybody who were living under the same circumstances as the canary should like get out now before things get ugly. But yeah, I think it was quite a few companies, and and I'm not gonna say just companies. I think it was been quite a few trucking companies that have actually went out and borrowed and funded fleets with borrowed money, because like as you guys know, there's a trucker shortage, A, and B, there's a shortage like of people able to deliver all these loads. There's an abundance of loads, so I can see some companies actually going out and honestly borrowing money to just like fund fleets so they won't have to put anything down. But like, that's a dangerous game, man. Like, and there's a couple of YouTube truckers that have done the same thing, that just fund fleets with basically borrowed money, because they don't have that cash, so it's borrowed money. But yeah, man, this is dangerous. Like, especially how this depending on how this economy goes and how the rates go, it's just a lot of factors. Like, that's why I did not want to put my money into this trucking industry. There's so many factors that go into this, man. Like this trucking industry is very volatile, and like, you can't control none of these factors. That's what's most scary about it. You can't control the fuel factor. You can't control the shipping factor. You can't control these rates. Man, like, hell no. You can't control none of these factors that are a major source of how you get paid. So fuck that. Like, I choose not to be in the trucking industry. I'll drive for somebody else and get a guaranteed paycheck, but I'm not finna put my money on the line and have it at risk and something so volatile and something so unpredictable. Like, you might as well just be playing a lottery then. Because, I mean, it's not, I know I'm exaggerating, it's not as bad as the lottery, but, like, you know, it's bad, though. Like, I'm not going to do it. I know you can make money, like, but at the same time, though, a lot of people made money in the stock market bubbles, and a lot of people made money in the real estate bubbles, and, you know, a lot of other bubbles. But, like, at the end of the day, though, like, if you didn't sell, if you didn't get out in time, if you don't get out of that damn truck in time, and, you know, et cetera, then, like, you're gonna be one of those victims. But yeah, those are just a couple of my ideas and thoughts tonight. Y'all stay safe, stay positive. God, family, money. I'm out.